everyone, and congratulations to all of you on such an auspicious occasion. Yes, it's 2nd October. Such a day it is, huh? The International Day of Non-Violence. And tell you what, the entire world remembers this day because of an Indian. Well, I don't think I need to remind you the names, do I? Friends, history has witnessed a number of figures who taught the human race about the arcane truths of life. Some of them wrote books, some of them led campaigns, and some of them taught the mob or the human race by being preachers. Well, there's the other kind who just lived their life and motivated, revamped, and reoriented the lives of their countrymen. Well, we are here to celebrate the birth anniversary of two gentlemen who just lived their life, and the life of their countrymen was set in tune with the eternal, perpetual harmony of our country. Yes, we are here to celebrate the birth anniversary of Pandit Lal Bahadur Shastriji and of course our very own Bapu Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji. Talking about Pandit Lal Bahadur Shastriji, yes, he was the second Prime Minister of our country, but that would only be a sketchy definition of the kind of personality that he possessed. To define the man who served the nation with the truest sense of the word service. Starting from his contribution right throughout the somber days of our freedom struggle to becoming the leader of Servant of the People Society, popularly known as the Lok Sevak Mandal, founded by Lala Lajpat Rai, and thereafter serving his country under the premiership of various ministries and then going on to become the second Prime Minister of India. A vacuum was created when Pandit Nehru died in 1964, but the glorious presence of Shastriji made our country forge ahead. While speaking on the chronic food shortages across the country, Shastriji urged the people to voluntarily give up one meal so that the food saved could be distributed to the affected peoples. However, he ensured that he first implemented the system in his own family before appealing to the country. He went on air to appeal to his countrymen to skip a meal a week. The response to his appeal was overwhelming. Even restaurants and eateries downed their shutters on Monday evenings. Many parts of the country observed the Shastri Birth. He motivated the country to maximize the cultivation of food grains by plowing the lawn himself at his official residence in New Delhi. During the war with Pakistan in 1965, Shastriji gave the seminal Jai Jawan Jai Kishan slogan at Allahabad that became a national slogan later, and it still reverberates even today through the length and breadth of our country. Underlying this is the innermost sentiments, Jai Hind. The war of 1965 was fought and won for our self-respect and our national prestige. For using our defense forces with such admirable skill, the nation remains beholden to Sri Lal Bahadur Shastriji. Underlying the need to boost India's food production, Shastriji also promoted the Green Revolution in India in 1965. This led to an increase in food grain production, especially in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. Bharat Ratna Pandit Lal Bahadur Shastriji is truly one of the most precious gems or Ratna that the ocean of Bharat has ever produced. Now coming back to Bapu Mohandas Karamchand Gandhiji. Well, I believe I'm still learning about his life, and to be honest, I feel that one lifetime is too short to learn about the life, teachings and philosophy of this gentleman from the Sabarmati Ashram. Yes, it's about a person, a very common, average Indian lad from a village, a young lawyer with a flourishing career in South Africa and abroad. However, he decides to come back to his motherland and announces the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. He embraces the Indian loincloth or the short dhoti and hand-woven shawl, and adopted the charkha or the spinning wheel and goes on to become the idol of simplicity, patriotism, and nationalism through his work. Truly, he defined the secret behind simple living and high thinking. When the nation was under the terrible threat of being submissive before the vicious feast of colonialism, Bapu's resilient riposte epitomized the dauntless spirit of the Indians. Well, that would only be an outline sketch of Mahatma Gandhi, the nationalist. Rather, let us have a look at the other shade of this personality, Gandhi, the educationist. Gandhiji had a synthetic view of life, education, and culture. He synthesized all the three basic philosophies of education, idealism, naturalism, and pragmatism, to visualize an empirical and prescient concept that proves to be inevitable even after a century and a half. Bapu believed in self-supporting aspect of education. His idea of a free and compulsory education for every child is still indubitable. His vision of an independent, self-contained India can be identified in his idea of craft-centered education or vocational education. The pivotal point of Gandhian philosophy is the application of the principle of nonviolence. The scheme of basic education, or popularly known as Bunyadi Shiksha, is imbued with the cardinal creed of nonviolence and the idea of cooperative living, so relevant for the current scenario as well. Talking about the prevailing circumstances, our Honorable Prime Minister has inspired us to dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now, you may ask, of course, it's our dream to live in an Atmanirbhar Bharat, but how? Let me tell you something. Let's have a look at the life of this gentleman from the ashram of Sabarmati. Well, I believe Mahatma Gandhi, the nationalist, Mahatma Gandhi, the philosopher, Mahatma Gandhi, the saint, Mahatma Gandhi, the educationist, Mahatma Gandhi, the visionary, Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, will always be there to grab our hand and take us forward. He taught us an ounce of practice is worth 1,000 words, and he could say it with ease because he believed that we must be the change we want to see in this world. Actually, I think I will fall short of words if I continue with this. Well, what else can I say? Sabarmati ke sant tune kar diya kamal. So it would be a privilege to pay tribute to the gentleman from the ashram of Sabarmati, and I remember the words of Mr. Kennedy. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. So, it's time for us to be the change, to live by his ideas, to live by his principles, and to carry this glorious legacy forward. And once we do so, believe me, we won't need to dream about an Atmanirbhar Bharat, because we will be living that dream. We will be living in an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Jai Hind.